Good morning, everyone. It is September the 28th, 2015. Time to start another week of trading, and this Wednesday brings us end of the month, end of the quarter type trading. And the treasuries are pointed up into the end of the month, end of the quarter, and equities are pointed lower. And I think it'll probably take a piece of news to change that, or outright direct subsidization of the market by the Fed. The news overnight: China's industrial company profits were off 8.8%. China exports have not picked up with their devaluation. The People's Bank of China said there might be another devaluation coming by the end of the year, and it is spreading through Southeast Asia with Thailand's exports. They were expected those to be down 3%. They were down 6%. So the economic contraction and the reaction to the Chinese currency devaluation continues to work its way through the markets. Iraq has, with China and Russia, has signed an intelligence deal with Iran. So the United States foreign policy is it continues to be in disarray. This idea, whoever dreamed up the phrase "we're leading from behind," yeah, right. But this lack of leadership in the Middle East has the entire Middle East in turmoil, and people are searching for allies that protects their own national interests as best they can. And Russia has troops and aircraft on the ground in the Middle East again, in Syria. So it's already been spun by the powers that be. Russia called for a meeting between the United States and Russia at this week's UN meetings, and after saying that Russia was move in Syria was totally unnecessary and they have to be very, very careful, the United States is going to meet with Russia, and it'll be on Russia's terms. It won't be on ours. After all, we are leading from behind. So somebody has to take the lead, and somebody has to put something out before we have anything to respond to. And that just shows you the just the foolishness of, when you start thinking about that phrase, what comes with it. So here we are. Stocks are down around the globe except for China's. China's are up because they hope for more easing, and in Europe they're lower. The Volkswagen news and Glencore news, miners news, continues to hit their markets. And interesting, there was a letter out from Bosch in 2007 warning Volkswagen about what would happen if that software, which was developed and designed for testing, was used in their vehicles. And now Volkswagen is reaping the rewards of that. So right now we've got resistance at 15. Last rotate up was 11.5. So this 12 to 16 is resistance. 11 to 15 is sell 1. Sell 2 will be 19 to 23. And again, it's to me it's going to be just how it does the E-mini sell and how hard does it sell. On the buy side, the breakout came from 1.5. So we're going to be right at support. So 30 to 20 to 02 will be buy 1, and then 25 to 21 will be buy 2. And today's news: personal income plus 0.4. Personal spending, which is what the market will pay attention to, plus 0.3. Core PCE plus 0.1. Hard to believe when you go to the store. The only place we really see it is gasoline prices. Energy prices for natural gas, coal, uranium, electricity, natural gas are going higher. Pending home sales plus 0.5%. That one probably will hit that number, or might maybe even be a little bit higher. And Dallas Fed at -9. That one could come in lower. Dudley started speaking a few moments ago, and Evans speaks at 1:30 today. So that'll be the Fed talk for today. That's it for the note. Now, having said that resistance is 12 to 16 that we can see off the charts, we've got to get through 8 first to get there. I think we can do it with some help from the E-mini, but if we can't, then resistance, based on the overnight market's action, is at 7.5 to 8. Starts right there. So we'll just have to see. And we probably won't have our answer until the E-mini opens up. You know, all along we've talked about the difficulty of the Fed being able to raise interest rates, and what the Fed has been doing is that they send governors out and they talk about raising interest rates, but when it comes right down to being able to do it, they don't. And the reason is that the real unemployment in the United States is north of 11%. Personal incomes are going down. Medical costs due to government policy are going up. Energy costs for utilities are going up. So the Fed coming out and raising interest rates would be very, very, I mean, they would be blamed for the recession. And they don't want to do that politically. Their bosses don't want that, so they don't want it. Okay, on the 30-year, 19 to 23, it's where resistance is right now. You can see it. Friday's high and the X period high, and 31 to 03 for sell 2. On the buy side, the breakout came from 156 even. Last rotate down was 06, so 5 to 9 is going to be buy 1. It's near support. And then 29 to 25 will be buy 2. My number 1 levels on the bond are where support and resistance are. My number 2 levels, I skip a support and resistance level just because of the volatility in the contract. And we haven't had any trouble taking out our number 1 points when the market has moved. Number 2 points will slow the market the first time into it, then it gets back down to which way is the E-mini going to trade. Okay, gold took a hit. We've been expecting that since options expiration. The rumors abound of cash buying by governments around the world. Story on Zero Hedge that China bought 1,700 tons of gold. That's a lot of gold. Don't know if that's true or not, and nobody really does. But you can see that in K period, gold started to sell, and it sold quite a bit. And so far we have the low at 29. Stops below 30 were pulled. We've got a single print over here at 28. Last rotate down before the market started up on the 22nd was 24. So 25, 27 is probably pretty good support. I think they can go a little bit lower. So we'll make 25, 27 buy 1, 21, 19 buy 2. On the sell side, 34, 36, we're going to pick up the single prints in T period, the spill from the L period low. So 34, 36 is sell 1, and then 39, 41 is sell 2. What was support is now resistance. Funny how that works. Taking a quick look at the euro, the yuan was off a little bit, not really much to speak about over the weekend. The Chinese bank did talk about raising interest, lowering the yuan one more time before the year's end. And being a mercantilist and economy that really is built on exporting. It's pretty hard to believe that the Chinese wouldn't do something again like that, no matter what they say. So we've got selling that came out of the 1207 area, so 1200, 1210 will be sell 1. Friday's last rotate up stopped at 25, so 25 to 35 will be sell 2. On the buy side, 1175 buy 1. I think that's going to be fairly easy to get to. So the 1150 area, which is a round number, would be where I'd be more inclined to put on a long. Crude oil. What's going to happen in the Middle East? Drumbeats of war. You know, it's funny. We don't hear a lot. We get occasional casualty reports out of Yemen. The loss of Saudi troops. And the casualties. Russia and China and Iran in Syria. China's sending stuff to Syria too. Probably seen as stabilizing, and that's not good for the price of crude oil. It should come down. So we've got a 45.50 is current resistance, then 45, and then on the buy side we've rejected prices below 44, so I think we are headed lower. On the buy side we'll make 44, 44 and a quarter buy 1, then 43.50, 43.75 buy 2. On the sell side, 45, 45 and a quarter, sell 1, then 45.50, 45.75, sell 2. Okay, the highs 45.50, 150 ticks takes us to 44 even. So $1.50 is usually pretty good trading range for this contract. Does it regularly, but it's $1.50, $1.40 is where people start taking profits. Okay, the E-mini, I think it's going to sell today based on what's going on around the globe. Alcoa has announced that they're going to split into 2 companies. I wonder why they're doing that. How will that help them maintain their earnings and maintain their stock price? Be interesting to see. But we are pointed lower. We do have support around 1900. Don't see much in the way of buying anywhere. We'll take a look at the F4 screen when we get through with the structure right here. But this 10 to 13 area is where resistance is. So our first sell is going to be 10 to 15. Then 20 to 25. I think it's headed lower, leaning again. 10 is very, very aggressive, but it is where resistance is right now. We'll adjust after news. Buy 195 to the buck. Let them get stops below 1900, and then buying 85 to 90. We got a little volume down there just below 90, so that's probably structurally a pretty good. If we can bust 1900, I think the next support is 85 to 90. So the first play or first buy is just stops below 1900, but the better buy is 85 to 90 because of the volume from the last time the market was down there and trading at those levels. Okay, personal income up 0.4, personal spending up 0.3, core PCE plus is plus 0.1, pending home sales plus 0.5%, and Dallas Fed -9. Be back with you as soon as possible in a few.